Hello and welcome to episode 951 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir?
Great. Everything's great.
Yeah?
Oh, wait a second. This isn't the cranky version of Greg that we were experiencing
I got that out of my system before we started.
Okay, all right. Now we got happy Greg. Are you watching a race in the
The Daytona 500's on, baby.
do 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 do.
Still 50 laps to go.
Oh, all right.
So we're
Wow.
currently at the Daytona 450?
No, because each lap is 2.5 miles. And the Daytona 500 is a reference to the number of miles they race.
Oh, is that? I thought it was
Oh.
a lap thing.
I didn't know that either.
It can be, it depends on how big the track is. So they go to like they'll go to shorter tracks, like half-mile tracks, and
Yeah.
do 500 freight races that are called 500s, and those are usually 500 laps.
Have they
on
ever?
on any track that's bigger than a mile,
Yeah.
the number in the title generally refers to how many miles they race.
Okay, two questions. Have they ever held the Daytona 500 on a racetrack that is comprised of a single 500-mile loop?
No, but
Question one.
the original Daytona
should.
race course, they didn't go 500 miles, was actually on Daytona Beach.
Oh, is that right?
So they would run down. I don't know if you've ever been to Daytona Beach. It's pretty famous
I have
beach
not.
in Florida. So they would run down the sand dunes
Okay.
for one half of a lap, and they would turn, and then they go up the paved road that ran alongside the beach.
Oh,
And then
okay.
turn back around and come back down the sand dunes. So that's how the Daytona races began.
Okay.
But then they built this big 2.5 mile speedway.
Now, have they ever done the Daytona 500 on a baby track?
No.
Like in Mario Kart, where it's like a super tiny, where you're pretty much constantly having to drift.
No.
They should.
They should.
Yeah.
But they do have that baby track reminds me a lot of a short track they run called Martinsville.
Well, that's there you go.
Have they ever
in
done
Virginia, which I've
Tighten that
been
up
to,
a bit.
actually.
Have they ever done like a classic version of the Daytona 500 where they do the beach thing again?
No.
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 Hmm.
These cars wouldn't be any good on the beach.
Okay.
We're talking like back in the 50s here.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a long time
That's
ago.
what I'm talking about. Bringing it back.
We're
No.
fast approaching
We're
the
bringing-
50s again.
Bringing everything
True.
else back.
That's true.
in a couple.
Some
in
of
a
us are
couple
fast
different ways.
approaching our face, but
Oh God.
one of
Oh,
us has already crossed the finish line.
Oh no.
It's all done. Phil's, Phil's in his victory lap phase.
Oh yeah.
I'm not there yet, thankfully.
I'm in my 50s. We only have 25 more years until we get to the new 50s. And American values.
Oh, true.
Back to the 1950s.
Our president was there to pace the first lap of the Daytona 500 today.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh my.
Oh,
Wearing a MAGA hat that he was wearing his own signature on his head. A little
Sure.
weird.
Well, in case you forget.
You know, I mean, he's pretty normal, balanced guy otherwise, but that was weird.
Getting up there in age,
Yeah, that's what it is.
you might lose track.
I don't know
If
if this
you
hat's
fall
mine or
down at
not.
the mall
Oh, there's
and-
my name.
Yeah.
And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Daytona.
Let's go away.
Oh boy.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Doing any racing?
I haven't done
No.
any racing lately.
No. Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
I see.
I saw some. I saw. I wasn't actively watching the hockey game yesterday. There was some sort of Canadian American hockey game,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't really
It's
actively watching it.
It's called the Four Nations. So what they're doing in the NHL this year, instead of having an all-star game, all-stars games generally suck.
Okay.
They've put together 4 teams based on 4 different nations, which is the USA, Canada,
Fire,
Sweden,
air.
and Finland.
water, and the villainous Fire Kingdom.
So Canada, the USA, Sweden, and Finland, and they're all NHL
Oh, I
players,
see.
and they're doing they're doing a tournament. And yesterday
There were a
was
lot of
cool.
fights,
Canada
like,
started
away.
with
Lot of
3
fights?
fights.
Holy
3
cow.
fights in the first, I think, 10 seconds of the game.
It was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was crazy. That's something else you don't see at All-Star games is fighting. So, except when it's the USA and Canada.
Well, you know.
And the best part is the first two fights, the two Americans involved in the first two fights are brothers.
Oh, is that right?
The Kachuk brothers. And their dad was a pretty well-known brawler in the NHL as well. Keith Kachuk.
Louise.
So,
well, there you go.
It was a dramatic way to start the game.
That's
for sure. But the Americans won, so.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. See, I stopped paying attention once the fighting stopped.
Yeah. So after 10 seconds of the game,
basically, yes.
I mean, to be fair, that's how long you were going to pay attention anyway.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a beverage before we dive in. I have a new beverage.
Okay. New beverage.
Now I gotta take my blood pressure pills.
Do it. This
do you
is
really?
okay. This is a new
I really
flavor.
do.
Oh.
Pepsi.
Yeah. Pepsi.
Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry and Cream.
Ooh. Huh.
Yes.
Is that like the new thing this season? Because I saw that Coke is releasing the orange creamsicle.
You know what?
Flavor.
I have that out in the fridge right now.
I really want to try one of those, and I'm sure it's not going to taste nearly as good as it will in my mind, as it does in my mind.
I believe, didn't Coke do some sort of like orange?
I don't know. I don't keep up on novelty flavors.
Recently,
pretty sure they have,
and it wasn't very good.
It almost never is.
Right, but we'll see. I mean, cherry. You know, I like Pepsi. I like Coke and Pepsi. I'm one of those guys.
I like Coke more than Pepsi.
I mean, given the choice, yes, I will have Coke. But, you know, I don't mind the extra sweetness of a Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I will say Pepsi Zero does a better job of replicating regular Pepsi than Coke Zero does.
Oh, so it's not completely disgusting?
Regular Coke. And, you know, I love Coke Zero.
Yes.
So, but let's see. We're going to try some wild.
I used to love Coke Zero.
Cherry and cream.
I'm almost 2 months sober from Coke Zero.
That's not how you describe
what that means.
No?
It's probably pretty insulting to people who are actually.
I would imagine it would be.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just realized before I try this.
I was addicted to it, though.
Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry and Cream. I do need to do a little cherry and cream, cherry and cream. I'm a little lad who loves cherry and cream.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I can enjoy this beverage. Let's see how it tastes.
Yeah. I bet
Okay.
the guy who was in that commercial, obviously, it lived on well beyond that ad campaign.
Oh, I have a story about that.
Okay. I'm sure he's
One
happy.
moment. Let me try this real quick.
Okay. I'm sure he's happy that it was before the internet meme.
Oh, no, that spread on the internet.
I mean, it spread on the internet anyway, but it could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Your nose could have been gushing blood.
That's right.
That's not bad. It tastes like cherry and cream.
Okay.
As advertised.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think I prefer the straight cherry, but you know, it's got that little bit of creaminess that ain't bad.
Sure.
So yeah, the little lad, the berries and cream, little lad.
Let's hear it.
Which I don't even remember what that was promoting. Some sort of
Lifesavers. It was the berry sickle Lifesavers.
Oh, it was Lifesavers. Thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the berries and cream Lifesaver ad years ago that was brought to mind again. So I saw something online, someone referencing it. And so I decided to
deep dive.
Yes.
We've dove deep on this before.
Jared's telling us it was Starburst.
Deep divin
in our chat.
Starburst? Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Look it up. I decided to look up the guy who played the little lad to see what he was up to these days.
It is Starburst.
It is Starburst. There you go.
Wow.
See?
Okay, I'm wrong.
I was not crazy in remembering the ad campaign, but not actually what the ad campaign was for.
It's the Berenstein Bears.
Which we all grew up calling the Berenstain Bears.
First of all, it's Berenstein.
Stein. There you go.
Yeah.
We still grew up calling them Berenstain Bears, though.
Oh, really?
I'm not saying we were right. I'm just saying that's how everyone pronounced it.
Okay.
Like Ninja Gaiden?
Ninja Gaiden. Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden.
No Bunga's ambition.
So
residential evil. It goes on and on.
The little lad actor.
Yes.
It turns out these facts may be slightly askew because this was years ago. I looked it up, but he is, I believe he is like in New York, and he's like a hoity-toity, like theater guy.
New York City.
Like he teaches, dance for the theater, very serious, very kind of pompous actor type things. And he is not proud of his past life as Starburst berries and cream little lad.
Yeah. And not looking to parlay that into
modern day fame.
Day fame.
Yeah, you're not going to see him donning his little Lord Fauntleroy outfit.
He's not going to be doing a book tour with the Can You Hear Me Now guy.
Right.
Man,
probably not.
Those commercials.
Oh, okay.
Were great.
Anyway.
Cherry
and cream.
Cherry and cream.
Cola.
That's fantastic, Phil.
There you go.
I think we should talk about some video game news, though.
Why start now?
Yeah, it seems like a
certain
fool's errand.
Point. Oh, well, I guess maybe so. But a state of play happened.
Oh, right.
Last week.
What is the state of play?
The state of play is pretty good, depending on what games you were looking forward to. Like Monster Hunter Wilds.
Greg, were you asking for an actual definition of the state of play?
Yes.
Oh.
It's like a Nintendo Presents, but for Sony.
No. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a PlayStation Direct, but there already is a PlayStation Direct.
I miss E3.
Wait, what did I say?
It's an eShop.
Did I say Nintendo Presents?
Yeah, you did.
You did. You didn't say Nintendo Direct.
Pretty embarrassing.
That's not right. Nintendo Direct. Well, you know where my confusion comes from.
Get with it, old man.
You know where my confusion comes from? There's another company that has a Presents presentation that is somewhat affiliated with Nintendo. And that's where my confusion.
Digimon?
Yeah, it's one of those.
There was one of those in the state of play.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got a new Digimon coming out.
Very dramatic intro.
I am absolutely not interested.
It's Digimon. Okay.
Not at all interested. As soon as I saw that dinosaur, I don't remember the name of
Agumon.
Agumon, there it is. I was pass. I can go ahead.
Sounds like a character from Lord of the Rings.
It's my job to know all these things.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a state of play presentation. Monster Hunter Worlds kicked it, or Monster Hunter Wilds. Wow.
Yeah. See, I'm not the only one.
Off. Yeah, and the last beta weekend before the launch of the game happened this weekend. So, yeah.
How excited are you for the new Monster Hunter?
I'm actually kind of excited about it because
really, you're a Monster Hunter player?
I talked about it last week, didn't I?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't here, so
yeah. So we know Phil didn't listen.
I definitely wasn't listening.
Monster Hunter is one of those games where I tried for many years to play and enjoy that series, and then Monster Hunter Rise came out.
Yeah.
For the Nintendo Switch. And I played that and really enjoyed it. Finished that game, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, and that never happens.
Well, there you go.
And then the Sunbreak expansion came out, and I didn't even touch that. But Wilds looks awesome, and I'm totally down with it. I played a little bit of the beta, and yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
I'll try it. Yeah. So there we go on that. And let's see. We had a bunch of other stuff in the state of play. I don't want to go down the whole list.
No.
But are there things that you guys were interested in?
Yeah, there was a few. I mean, Shinobi looks really good.
Shinobi looks great.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Shinobi.
I mean, it looks like basically a modernized Shinobi 3, which is fine because Shinobi 3 was awesome.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the moveset looks like Shinobi 3. Yeah. I mean, there's even a surfboard section. So
new Shinobi, new Ninja Gaiden.
Right?
It's an embarrassment of
2 new Ninja Gaidens.
Well, I mean like real Ninja Gaiden.
Oh.
Like 2D old school. I don't care about
that.
You don't care about
Ninja crap.
No, I don't need that. I need a real Ninja Gaiden game.
Okay.
I don't want Ninja Gaiden. I want Ninja Gaiden.
Mm-hmm. I see.
If you know what I mean.
Now all we need is a new Legend of Cage, and we're just killing it.
Oh yeah. Somebody get Kaido on the horn.
Was there a new one of those fairly recent? Well, not. I say fairly recently. It's probably like 20 years ago.
No, there wasn't.
There was a 3DS one.
Was there?
That's probably what you're thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of.
That was more than a few years ago. Let me tell you.
That was more than a few years. That was 10.
I think it was
12 years ago.
I think it was a numbered sequel, right?
I think that's right.
The Legend of Kage 2 for the Nintendo. Oh, it wasn't even 3DS. It was just the DS.
That was
okay. Well, then it's 20 years ago.
2008.
So
damn. Yeah.
So like
feels
5
like
years
yesterday.
Ago, right?
Yeah, feels like yesterday, but it wasn't. It's not.
We're knocking on 20 years since Legend of Kage 2.
So another one that they showed briefly there at the beginning, which is probably next on this video you've got running, CJ, is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Yes,
which
that's up right now.
I'm cautiously optimistic about because I really, 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 really want it to be like Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, because that game was fantastic. Then I think Sonic Team Racing was the most recent one, and that game was not good. So, there was actually had a conversation going on Blue Sky with somebody this past week about that, because I think there's either been a trailer, or it was a leaked trailer or something that showed Jackie and Akira from Virtua Fighter being in this game as well. And that sort of kicked off a conversation about how, they came tantalizingly close to getting it so perfectly right, doing sort of like Sega's like a racing version of Super Smash Brothers, but for Sega, you know what I mean?
Right.
With Transformed, because they had a bunch of characters from a bunch of different Sega properties. They had levels that were based on a bunch of different Sega properties. It was like a big love letter to Sega's history, and you can see a little bit of that in this trailer, because there's one level in particular they kept showing that was an aircraft carrier, which is what the Afterburner level was in Transformed. It was a great level, and it had great music. But I've been of the opinion that, like, if they had done it right, that should have kicked off a franchise where they just kept sort of mining, because they've got 50 years of history as far as Sega properties that they could have been mining, and they could have reached out and gotten other companies participating as well, and they just didn't. And like, this could be another attempt to launch that, but I feel like modern Sega will, I think in a couple of years, we'll be talking about how they're attempting to launch that again. It just won't take. So, but that being said, I do hope this is really good. I didn't look up to see who the actual developer is on it. Sumo Digital were the ones that got it right the last time, I think. But that one looked really interesting.
How about this? I'm going to pitch this to you. I know you have no power to control any of this.
I'm a pretty famous YouTuber.
You have immense power as a Sega influencer to make this happen.
Yeah, that's me.
I want a Flicky themed racetrack.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Why?
It's like 4 levels stacked on each other, and you can like hit ramps to go up and drop back down.
City Connection?
No, it's Flicky, because they're a bird.
yeah. But that as an example, that would be the perfect franchise to put, like the perfect sort of deep cut franchise to put into a game like this, because especially because Flicky is Sonic adjacent.
Of course it is.
Flicky was in the first and has been in many of the Sonic games.
You're saving Flickies.
Right? Like, it really, all I could see was the lost potential.
Yeah.
There. But the game hopefully looks good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if we're talking Sega franchises that I want to see in this Sonic Racing thing, I think the obvious answer is Yakuza. Let's
Yeah, but
see
don't
Ichiban,
blow your load on the pirate one because you're going to talk about that later, right?
Ichiban Kasuga, and Kazuma Kiryu in Sonic Racing. That would be great, right?
And there's a good chance that they might be there if they're bringing in VR or Virtual Fighter characters. But again,
there's a very good chance.
They need to.
Yeah, does cross worlds only mean going from like a pirate themed thing to a prehistoric thing to a Sonic thing, or does it mean Sega worlds where we have like a Phantasy Star track? And
that's what it should mean.
That's what it should mean. Yeah. Ballsy of them to release it when Mario Kart 9 is probably coming out this year also, right? Like,
we know Ichiban canonically does go-karting.
Yep.
Well, that is true.
You know?
Yeah. We do know that. I mean, speaking of Yakuza here, I want to talk about the Dave the Diver. Spin-off or DLC that's coming.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, this is coming in April, and I would assume to all platforms, not just PlayStation, but that'll be super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it has like a little Streets of Rage thing in it where Ichiban was kicking butt, Streets of Rage 2 style.
Yeah, I got to sit down and play Dave the Diver because it's got that Godzilla DLC, and now it's going to get Ichiban DLC.
Yeah,
there's a lot I like in that Dave the Diver game, and I've barely touched it. So
it's very good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It is very good. Maybe I'm not sure if this will be a limited DLC like the Godzilla one was, but yeah, pretty cool.
I will get on it for sure.
Look at that! Look at this right here. It's your Streets of Rage.
Stop reacting to the videos we're watching. This is an audio podcast.
Streets of Rage 2 style.
It is
minigame. Yeah,
just give me a full game like that.
I would play that.
Actually, they did do
they did Streets of Kamurocho.
Yeah, on the Steam.
That was a limited time thing. I don't think you can get it anymore either, but I downloaded it. I downloaded it before I was into the Yakuza games. I was like, yeah, you know what? Freebie, I'll download this. But no Ichiban Kasuga in it, right? It's just Kiryu.
That predated Ichiban, I believe.
Yeah. Indeed.
I also thought Directive 8020 looked fantastic.
Directive 8020. That is
which one was that?
A Dark Pictures game. Supermassive games.
Supermassive games.
It's got I mean it's because of the sci-fi horror thing. I mean, I was definitely getting Dead Space vibes from the trailer.
Yeah.
Hardcore. So that was enough for me to be interested.
Yeah, Dead Space vibes, and plus I really obviously loved Until Dawn. And
right. That's why I figured you'd be interested in this one too.
The Quarry is a really good game, although not as well loved as Until Dawn, but very excited about this one too, because yes, big Dead Space vibes.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm okay with horror games, but horror games in space, sign me up.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about that, but just scratches that sci-fi itch that I want. And
yeah. So I have no doubts it'll be good.
Yeah.
Excited about it.
The other
what else is on your list?
I had new Onimusha.
Yeah, that new Onimusha trailer was pretty good.
Onimusha Way of the Sword.
Yes.
I liked the main character. I liked because there's a little light comedy in there.
Yep.
As well, which I think really worked. So
yeah,
I'm not a particular Onimusha fan. I thought they were good. It wasn't like a huge. I don't hold them up in any sort of high regard, but
I love Onimusha 1 and 3.
Yeah, what was wrong with 2? I think we've probably already talked about this.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just it's definitely the weakest of that original trilogy. Oh, there was a 4th one too that was also not super great. So
Yeah.
I guess is it like the inverse of Star Trek movies? where the odd ones are the good Onimushas? So
It could be.
This should be the good one then.
Because this is the first
This-
one of a new trilogy.
Yeah, as long as we don't count the
Perhaps.
that fighting game that they did back in the day.
It's a solid theory.
Looks
Yeah.
cool. And the way I thought of this was, even if people are not familiar with Onimusha, which a lot of players nowadays won't
Right.
be,
Well, those are
they'll
old
look
games.
at this. They'll look at this and think, "Oh, this must be like a Souls game or something."
Oh,
because
right.
it does kind of have a little bit of that look to it. So
It is
yeah,
not.
interesting.
Assuming
What?
it
is.
Well,
It's
you,
not
like the
you
old ones.
think it's not.
It
You
could
don't know
be
that.
now.
Boy, I hope it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, I hope it just plays like Onimusha.
I don't know. Well, Capcom has they have the FU money now from Monster Hunter. They can do anything, right? So
The other one that I was kind of surprised at, and I think it's from Konami,
yes,
is Darwin's Paradox. I thought that
Darwin's
looked really
Paradox.
interesting.
yeah, it looked like kind of a like a Playdead game, like Inside or
Yeah. I was Inside was kind of where my brain went.
yeah.
When I was, but not from an atmosphere standpoint, just sort of from the gameplay standpoint.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cute.
I think it does too. Yeah, kind of a 2D side-scrolling thing where there's more happening. Yeah, it's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't look horrific like Inside or Limbo.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't look quite that oppressive.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like this Konami publishing indie games with polish.
Yeah.
Is
Mhm.
a good thing. They have another. They have like a delivery game coming out this year that they're also doing that looks great, and there's going to be a demo of that on Steam. I forget what the name of it is though. It's going to be really good though. I'll put it in the show notes.
And-
yeah, Darwin's Paradox.
I put another couple of games on my list. Dreams of Another looks incredible. Like, it looks extremely interesting. That's that one that's like it's a shooter, but you're using your gun to actually
The Pixel Junk
That's
game.
the Pixel Junk game.
Oh, right.
And I think Q Games, right? So
Q Games, yes.
yeah. So like the world is just this big sort of massive, I don't know what mass, and you shoot it to
A
organize
mass of
it
masses.
into you shoot it to organize it into solid objects and places, and I mean it looks interesting.
Yeah, you're using a gun to create things.
Yeah.
I am
Whoa.
curious what the
I'm way too high to
Gameplay.
think about something like that.
what the gameplay is, and
Well, but that's
But
what
it's
I
an
mean. It
interesting
just looks
concept.
so fascinating. Like I want to play it just to figure out what it is. You know what I mean? Plus, it's
Yeah.
it's Q Games, so
yeah,
make interesting
make good
stuff.
stuff.
So
Yeah,
it's very
They
true.
definitely do.
yeah, and it looks very pretty,
Oh, yeah.
which
It does.
I dig as well. So,
Yes.
and then the last one
It's got that kind of pointillism vibe going on.
Yes,
what pointillism?
pointillism.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what
that's
that is.
Take an art history class, Greg.
No.
a Sunday in the park with George thing, right? What was it called?
Is this a Seinfeld reference now, or
Yes, that's the musical based on
Yeah, that's
a Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte.
Surratt.
Surat, whatever. Yes.
wow,
Jeez Louise.
whatever.
I didn't take no art class. Obviously.
I'm working with these uncultured swine. I can't believe it.
And the last one that I found quite interesting looking is Lost Record.
Lost Records,
Which,
yeah.
which was it's from the same company that did that other episodic series.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Thank you.
Life is Strange
Ah,
developers.
And I think the first episode comes out on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
first episode
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Okay.
It looks really good, and it's also going to be launched on PS Plus game catalog. So
Right. It's a day and date, isn't it?
free. It's a day one game
Yes.
catalog game. So
Right.
looking forard to that.
I miss
It looks
episodic
good.
games. I really do, because there was a while there where I was really thinking about this a lot, because last night, actually, so that hockey game that we were talking about at the beginning of the episode, my son and I went to one of his coaches' place. A few of us went there to watch the game together. And so that game got over at like midnight. So we're driving home, and as will happen a lot with the teenage boys, drives home late at night is when they decide to get really talkative. And he was starting to talk about he's playing The Walking Dead on his Oculus, and the current Walking Dead. But he was really fascinated by
Saints
how
and Sinners,
like for him it was a big deal about how different choices he's making have big ramifications in the story, and that sort of got me talking about the old Telltale series. And then, of course, just thinking about how much I really loved the whole idea of the episodic adventure games, even though Telltale kind of just killed that whole thing with how long it took them to bring the episodes out.
Kind of did.
But still, I loved it.
But then they started putting things out like The Expanse, where episodes came out every 2 weeks and nobody paid attention to it. So it was a little different. But Lost Records, the second one comes out in April. So they're not doing 2-week stretches or anything like that. So.
But that's, hopefully they stick to decent intervals, because that's just the key.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know how good they are at it, because I didn't really stick with their previous series. I played the first one and then it was like, this is good. And then I kind of never went back. And I don't know if there were a ton of spin-offs or what, because I felt like for a while there, every time I turned around, there was another game in that series, but they might have been different series within the series. I don't know.
Yeah. Mind's Eye.
So that's
Did you watch that one?
Which one was that?
That is the it's like a futuristic no.
Okay.
No. It's like sort of like a futuristic GTA looking thing. From a game director who worked with Rockstar. So
that explains it. Okay.
Yeah, they kind of had him at the end of this, like introduce it, or I forget what his name is, Leslie Benzies or something. But anyway, he's somebody who worked at Rockstar before, so you have this sort of futuristic military thing, and then a futuristic city type.
It kind of felt like what it really, like story-wise, it kind of looked like Grand Theft Auto done by Quantic Dream.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the whole, like the guy had the tech, there's like a tech element that he's got tech installed in his head and that sort of thing. I thought the premise looks interesting. I didn't think the game looked all that good. Like it just,
I thought what I was impressed with from this trailer was that the dialogue seemed like it was ripped from like a live action trailer, but all of the visuals were like cutscene visuals. Like I got the feeling that the dialogue was recorded like in a space, like with acoustics and everything. Like we were just listening to clips from a movie, set to CG.
And then I think this is one of the ones where the director came on and introduced it, and then they actually showed some gameplay.
Yeah, they did.
And it didn't make it any better.
Oh, well,
to me,
I
just didn't think it looked all that interesting. It sounds interesting. And then, of course, I think when he was describing it, he was talking about how AI and greed are tearing the world apart. And I was like, oh, that's hitting a little close to home.
True, but ouch.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know if you watched any of the rumor mills before the state of play. People very excited about Bloodborne being announced or a Bloodborne remaster happening, because there were all these things kind of lining up. Like, oh, Sony took made the guy who made a Bloodborne 60 frames per second patch for PC. They made him take it down recently. And then there's all this other stuff.
Oh, so they were thinking that's an indication that
they're going to sell a remaster, which fair potentially. But and then they announced the Days Gone remaster, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed. But oh well. Yeah. So what else? Oh, the new game from the Returnal devs.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Housemarque. Yeah, I don't know, because I wanted to like Returnal so much.
Same here.
Yeah, me too.
And then I didn't, and
it just never ever clicked with me.
The gameplay didn't click with me. Like, I would get to a hard enemy and I would just die immediately and then have to repeat the whole stretch.
That was the thing for me, was just that I enjoyed it, but I kept just hitting I could never get past the first. I couldn't get to the point where when I needed to restart, I wasn't restarting right from the beginning. And it's just like, this is not interesting to me. After a while, I was like, I just felt like I was banging my head against the wall. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So
yeah. So their new thing is called Saros, and it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks cool.
What about Midnight Walk? Did you guys see Midnight Walk, the sort of claymation looking
oh yeah, that's
thing?
I didn't put that on my list because I had already sort of had it on my list from the first time they showed it. But yeah, that looks really good too. Yeah.
Apparently coming to both flat PS5 and PSVR. So the studio that makes this is also a VR game studio.
Flat PS5?
I said flat. Yeah. That's what us VR aficionados.
That's what non-VR games are called. Flat games.
Flat games. It's true.
That term's been around forever, Greg. I don't know why you seem so surprised by that. Flat. Do you remember back in like the 90s? What's your favorite flat game for the SNES?
It was all over Die Hard Game Fan.
Yeah.
It kept talking about the
flat games got so many scrolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, though, pretty good state of play.
Yeah, I thought so.
I guess we skipped an announcement that Phil will talk about later, but the Warriors roguelike thing. Warriors Abyss. The shadow dropped Warriors Abyss.
Yeah.
Which I played, so I will talk about that.
You'll talk about it. Yeah. I saw Warriors X roguelike in the trailer. I was like, oh, I know who's buying this.
Yep.
Yeah,
they got my number.
And this came out on it's out on all platforms, even Switch. So
even Switch.
Yep. Indeed. All right. I guess is that all we want to talk about? The state of play?
I suppose.
Okay. I thought it was a good show, though. I enjoy state of plays.
Yeah, I didn't love everything that was there, but it was more not because I think anything that was there looked terrible. Just
even Borderlands 4.
Yeah, there were people who love Borderlands. I'm not one of them, but no, I still think it looks good. It looks good for a Borderlands game.
It does look good. Yeah,
I'm just not going to play it.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like I didn't see anything that looked terrible. I just there's definitely a lot of stuff there that not for me, but overall.
Okay. Yeah. And of course they announced the demo for Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which I'll talk about in a bit. And very, very excited about that too. All right, I guess we can move on from the state of play news and talk about another important announcement from Atari.
Oh,
and Jeff Minter. This being the announcement of iRobot for modern consoles. Is this a remake?
Yes.
iRobot is an old vector.
I don't think I
graphic
ever.
game.
No,
I
it was
never
not a
played
vector
it.
graphic game.
Was it not vector graphics?
Actually, iRobot is very famous for being the first filled polygon game.
Oh,
Really? Okay.
that's
Entirely made of polygons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And sadly, the only other thing it was notable for is that it was considered pretty unplayable. So,
Oh no.
and actually, but I do
Uh.
think it's interesting here. I mean, I think it looks really, this Jeff Minter version looks really cool.
Yeah.
And it looks way more playable than the original game. Also worth pointing out, this was also made by Dave Thurer, I think, who is the guy who made Tempest, which
okay.
is
Ooh.
the other game that Jeff Minter's kind of super famous for remaking.
True.
I'll be honest. I watched this trailer. I have no idea what's happening in it.
Yeah, well, it's like playing iRobot.
Yeah.
I don't know what
No,
that
I don't
is.
know. I don't know either.
I sort of like, are you tracing the lines of a maze? Is
That's what it
sort
looks
of like
like.
Hubert-ish in that way?
I would say
kinda
Zoom,
what I-
but yes.
But okay. What
Hubert
I got
jumps
off that?
from platform to
That's
platform.
true.
I guess that's true. Maybe a little of kicks kind of mixed in there for good
Yeah,
measure.
I'd still
possibly.
say Zoom, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, kicks you're forming
Yeah, I was going
you know,
say
squares and
You keep-
rectangles.
I mean,
Well,
what
I
you're
know,
calling
I
out
know.
are puzzle games. You're right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm
They are
seeing some
games that
squares in
exist.
there. Maybe a little kind of Tetris
it's
vibe.
like Tetris.
Yeah.
Block out.
I'm
That's-
thinking
Okay.
Picross, actually. Maybe a little
Well, now hold on.
Sudoku?
Now you got my interest.
No, I thought this trailer looked really good. And one of the things I like the most about it is that it visually looks stunning, but it doesn't seem like the main gameplay is going to like make my eyes bleed. Like,
I mean, it looks like it really changes. Yeah, it really changes gameplay mechanics up. I also love that one of the
Yeah.
big words that pops on the screen is Bosch. But
of course,
very,
It
very
is-
British.
Yeah.
it is Jeff Minter.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, it could be cool. Yeah.
I think it looks interesting. I'll play it.
Oh,
Looks
yeah.
interesting. I'll play
Yeah.
it too.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. All righty. Well, that's it for the news. Let's
Good
talk
night, everybody.
about let's
Oh,
talk
sorry.
about the games we've been playing. And Greg, we're going to have you kick us off.
Really, I'm last on the list though.
All right, Phil, we're going to have you kick us off.
Really, you just introduced Greg. I was looking forward to hearing what Greg had to say.
I figured Greg wasn't playing anything because he didn't put anything on the list.
You
so I
are
just
correct.
have him go first so that we get that out of the way.
That's out of the way.
Okay. Greg hasn't
You
played
didn't-
anything.
You really didn't play anything?
No, this week has been crazy busy. I just haven't had the chance to play anything. But I mean, I played Gran Turismo 7. You guys don't want to hear me talk about Gran Turismo 7 again, so
No.
Wow.
hey, you know what? I get it. That's fine. I'm not upset.
Yeah.
I know my
I mean,
audience.
it seems a little rude on CJ's part.
I
Well, it
was
is, but I know
kidding.
my audience.
That
So,
was a
you know,
lighthearted ribbing.
I don't know. That sounded very
lighthearted
sincere.
ribbing for my pleasure.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So Phil,
Yeah.
what do you got for us?
What do you got there, tough guy?
What do you got there?
All right, you mugs, listen up.
All right, use
I've been playing all sorts of games.
Hey,
you
you
ain't gonna
guys.
even believe it what I got over here. So, first of all, I've been playing this Ease Memoire, the Oath in Felghana.
I think that's pronounced wise.
It's Felghana.
I've been playing this new Weiss game because I'm a Weiss guy.
Huh?
Ah.
Oh.
Hey.
Ah.
Oh,
I finished
This
I
episode's
finished
just
Oath and
getting worse and
Felghana.
worse and worse. Yeah.
Hooray for me. I finished Oath and Felghana. What a fun game. It is a short game.
It's a remake, right? That Oath and
Yeah.
Felghana came out ages ago, right?
Well, as you know, I think I went through the whole lineage of it.
You
Yeah,
did.
I don't remember.
It's a remake of Ease 3.
Right.
And the remake came out like
so the
many
original
years
Oath and Felghana was a remake of Ease 3, but this is a remake of the remake.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a
'Cause
remaster of the remake,
okay.
I think.
Right.
If,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we want to get technical.
Yeah, I guess that's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes. at its heart, at its very Ys core, this is the story of Ys 3 Wanderers from Ys, but through a modern day lens that was modern like a dozen years ago or something.
Okay.
But it's great. It is still absolutely one of the best Ys games. It's not the prettiest because it is an old game, but as I talked
Naturally.
about before, it has that kind of early aughts polygonal RPG charm that I actually really enjoy. And it is a nice, concise little adventure. It's like a 10-12 hour game. Push comes to shove.
Okay.
It's a nice little action RPG.
Push comes to
it
shove
is-
sounds like you're describing Ys Book 1 and 2.
That's true. I mean, that's the whole combat system. This does not have the shoving system of battle. But yeah, it's a fun game. I really enjoy Oath and Felghana.
Yeah.
And we finished it up, and it opens up a new game plus once you finish it, because they definitely encourage you to play through it multiple times on the different difficulty levels and stuff, which
I hate that about modern games.
yeah, I will not be doing that.
Have
but-
you ever done that?
No.
I
I can't remember ever doing it. Maybe I did, but
don't know if I did. Did I maybe do it with maybe the Miles Morales game? Did I do a new game plus?
Oh.
I think I may have done that.
Yeah.
sounds
Just
exhausting.
to clean up to get the platinum trophy for that, because that's not a
Mhm.
long game either,
That is true.
and it's
Yeah.
a good one.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
I think I've started a couple. Dead Space, the original Dead Space, I started the new game plus in that
Yeah.
and was having fun, but then I was like, well, I already finished.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's kind of my thing. It's like I don't feel like anything this offers me is going to be enough to justify me spending another 10x hours
Yeah.
playing it, you know?
New game pluses are always really nice in concept, but
Yeah.
in practice, it's just
There are people who play new game pluses though, right? Like
of course.
listeners,
There are people who
do you play new game plus?
There are people,
in
I mean,
anything?
that seems like a much more modern way a lot of people play, which is just you wring every last bit of time
Right.
you can out of every game, which has ended up being, I think, is one of the reasons we are where we're at, like where games are, there's 100 hours of gameplay in here.
Yeah.
And, and it's like people just buy or play one or two games all the time, which is, I don't know. I don't think it's a positive, to be honest, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who do the
a
new
lot of
Game
people
Plus
seem to
thing,
think it is. Yeah.
but it's absolutely not me.
Yeah.
It's not me either.
Yeah. I got too many backlog games to
Yeah.
bother with new game pluses.
And I mean, like going through this direct or whatever it is, the
State of play.
The Nintendo presentation, whatever.
No.
But no, I mean, I
You're all
added
wrong.
like 6 more games that I want to
Yeah.
play that are coming out in the
That's
next
just it,
year.
right?
Like I don't have the time to go back and replay a 10-hour or 20-hour, 30-hour game again. Screw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Indeed.
other game of course that I played this week is indeed Warriors Abyss. The new
From James Cameron?
that is the one.
Is it just a lot of blue filters all over everything?
You're running around killing a bunch of water aliens.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again sometime.
Me too. That was a great movie, especially
It
the director's
was.
cut.
I really liked it. Yeah.
So yeah, this was announced at the State of Play. This shadow dropped. It is the Muso
Roguelike.
/ roguelike game. And it is very clearly it's weird because Dynasty Warriors Origins just came out.
Yep.
And then we're getting this sort of side story offshoot of the series like immediately afterwards, which is weird timing, but it's also a different style of game.
True.
It's also budget priced, relatively speaking. It's $25, but they do have a couple different. But I think there's a bundle that's like $50 and one that's like 70 or 80.
Yeah,
that just comes with a bunch of costumes, which whatever. But
There will
none of them are
be people who will
Godzilla
want that.
costumes, so Phil's
no,
not getting
so
that.
no interest.
No.
Well, here's the thing too, because when they started development of this game, it's very, very obvious that someone at Koei Tecmo said, "Hey, we should make a Hades game. Hades is good. Can we make a Warriors game out of Hades?" And someone said, "Yeah, we could probably do that."
Yeah.
Because it's just Hades. Except
Yeah.
each little area that you go into, you have to kill like 200 people, and then you move on to the next area. It's
That seems cool.
I mean, it's fun. It is genuinely fun. It's but like the perspective, it's that same kind of pulled back isometric point of view that you see in Hades. Which, this is the thing, Hades is great.
Yeah,
Hades is obviously a very good game. One thing I don't care for in Hades is the fact that the camera's pulled back so far and like all the characters are very tiny. I would rather have a closer view of them.
Like in a Muso game.
Basically. But the fact that this game is kind of emulating that Hades viewpoint really makes the whole like spend dozens upon dozens of more dollars for costumes to seem all the more pointless, because you're not going to notice.
Them?
Yeah, you're seeing your tiny little guy on the screen amid a horde of 100 other
Tiny little
enemies.
guys.
You're not gonna take note. It's very much a well, I know the costume is there. I know my character is wearing it. I can't see it, but I absolutely equipped it on the option screen, so that costume is there. But yeah, you go into an area, you kill a bunch of goons, a couple doorways open up, you pick which one you want to go to, and the different doorways have different, put you in a room that has different traits. Oh, you can get gold in here. Oh, you can get treasure in here. Oh, this is an exceptionally challenging room with super tough enemies, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So it plays very much like Hades. You progress as far as you can go. You eventually come across giant boss characters that you fight. Eventually, of course, you will die. And then you go back to the beginning to start the journey all over again.
Yeah.
And it even has kind of the whole premise of Hades is that you are trying to escape from the underworld. And this game has a very similar kind of plot. And this is how close I pay attention to the plot of these things. I don't remember if you're trying to escape from the underworld or trying to go deeper into the underworld. It's one of those too.
It's one of those. Okay.
But yes, it is very much if Musu Hades sounds appealing to you, you will enjoy this because it is fun. I picked it up on the PS5, but I'm starting to think I might double dip and get the Steam version just because it seems like it would be a really good fit for the Steam Deck. In the same way that Hades is really fun on Steam Deck. So I might end up double dipping.
Double dip. And this has a lot of characters from the previous games in the series, right? Like that was part of their pitch for it. It's like all your favorites.
Yeah, well, because
are here, and they have different combat styles, and you can sort of like create a party? Did I
Yeah,
see
because
that
it's
right?
because it's not it's not Dynasty Warriors. It's just warriors.
Right.
So there's a bunch of characters from the Dynasty Warriors. There's a bunch of characters from the Samurai Warriors.
Yeah.
As you progress, you can unlock new characters, and yeah, you build up like a little party. And basically, what is like you have your main character that you control, but then you pull off combos and things like that, and the other characters will kind of jump into the fray,
Okay.
and they will attack the bad guys, and you can basically change the kind of the layout of your party. You have like a different patterns of where your allies are in relation to you, and there's stat boosts based on how close they are to you and that kind of thing. And as you play through the game, you can unlock new of these formations and that sort of thing. And yeah, all the different characters have their trademark weapons from the games, which of course changes their combat style. So you can.
Are you able to select your favorite character from the get-go? Like, did you select your favorite Warriors character?
There are I forget how many are available from the start. There's a good selection of them.
Yeah.
From the start, absolutely. And then
any of your favorite historical figures available?
You know who is available right from the get-go that I was very pleased with?
Who?
Goemon from the Samurai Warriors series. The same Goemon that inspired Konami's Goemon.
There you go.
So I was pleased to be able to play as Goemon from the get-go.
Nice.
Yes.
Do you switch it up? Like do different runs with different characters, or are you focusing on just?
I've been switching it up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just
that's cool.
To try out different characters and different weapons and things.
Seems like a cool offshoot of
it's a fun
of the Warriors series. Yeah,
I'm digging it, and yeah, like I said, it's relatively cheap.
Yep.
And it does seem like it will be a nice fit for the Steam Deck.
Well, it is a verified Steam Deck game. It launched.
There it is.
Verified. So,
yeah. What more do you want?
What more could you possibly want?
How far can you go, huh?
Exactly.
That was just for CJ.
Just for me. Thank you.
That's it, though. That's what I've been playing.
All righty. Well, Phil,
yes,
I have been playing.
Why are you going to talk to me about it?
Because you don't care.
We know you don't care already.
I'm going to say this, CJ.
What's that?
Because I know what you're going to talk about here.
Uh-huh.
You're going to be talking about Yakuza Pirate or Pirate Yakuza, right?
Yeah.
Now, I did not download this demo.
What?
I did not download this demo.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason,
dare
I say reasons,
it's only a week away. Only a week away from launch.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm already sold on the game.
Yeah. Me too.
Playing the demo is not going to convince me to buy this game that I've already bought 2 copies of.
2 copies?
Well, I had to, because I'm getting the English version.
It's also verified on Steam Deck, by the way.
Well, maybe later when it's on sale, I'll buy the Steam version just to have it in my Steam library.
There you go.
Because I bought the PS5 version.
Yeah.
But then I'm importing one from Japan just to get the little pop-up pirate toy.
Yeah.
That's coming out over there. So
yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
I understand it.
But also, and this is the real reason why I didn't download the demo, is your progress doesn't carry over.
No, the progress doesn't carry over, right?
Which, you know what I say to that? A boo.
All right.
Yeah, I disapprove.
Well, I did download the demo.
You did download it.
I downloaded it and played it.
So tell me what you think.
Well, I think it's going to be awesome.
Okay, good.
I can't wait.
I had my finger on the cancel
game.
Pre-order button. But
can't wait for the game to come out. The combat is really fun with both the sort of Majima regular combat and then the pirate combat is super cool too. you pull off these special moves where he pulls out a violin and starts playing a tune, and then
okay.
a bunch of sharks come out of the sand, destroy your foes.
Like they do.
Like reality. You know, the Yakuza series is very based in reality. With everything that it does.
Yes.
So I was super impressed with the combat.
Good.
Off the bat. And they kind of put you in an area of Honolulu for that. And then they say, oh, you can go anywhere on the island that you want within this area and check it out. And I was like, well, I'm playing Infinite Wealth. I don't really want to like, and also I'm going to be playing this game in a week. I don't want to.
Are you going to be like playing them in
double
tandem?
dipping? I maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Possibly. But I was like, I don't really want to explore the rest of Honolulu as Majima because that's going to spoil a bunch of like fun surprises.
That's true.
Potentially for the rest of the game. So it tells you can explore or you can hop on the ship, the Goro Maru, I believe it is the name of the ship, and go to Madlantis, which is the water-based adult-themed park where they do a bunch of gambling and they bet on pirate ship battles. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to Madlantis. And did some of that. I did there's like a pirate ship battle tutorial basically in Madlantis. So I did that. And let me tell you, I like the ship combat a lot. It's very reminiscent of
I knew you were going to.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is one of my absolute favorite pirate ship battle games. And, you know, you control the ship and you have like a forward attack. You fire machine guns off the front, which is great. And then there's starboard or port side cannons, which you can sort of charge up and then unleash on your foes. And then you can also board the enemy ship and have a Yakuza style fight on the ship. And it's super fun and awesome. So I'm like, I'm in. All right. I am in with this. This is this is no problem here. So yeah, and then I turned the demo off. I was like, I don't need to play anything else. Like, I'm sold anyway. I was sold before the demo, sold after it. So
perfect.
And also just what fun it is to play this game and be like, this feels exactly the same as the previous game that I'm playing and loving. Except for the combat. Obviously, the games with Ichiban as the protagonist is RPG style gameplay, and the titles that have Kiryu and Majima are more action based.
You did just play Man Who Erased His Name.
I did just play that, so yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great, and it's going to be super weird. Your pirate crew,
which is why it's going to be great.
They give you a pirate crew in the game, and it's a bunch of characters and Sujimon from Infinite Wealth, and it's great. Seeing characters like, there's Miss Match from the dating app. She's on my pirate crew. This is going to be great.
Outstanding.
So I'm so down. It's going to be great.
Good.
Yeah. And then I spent a bunch of time playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth in preparation for a Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
I'm glad you're finally getting back into that.
I am getting back into it. Yeah, I just what did I do? I'm trying to think of what story beats I'm on now. I'm in chapter 6. Chapter 6. So that's almost the midway point in the game. And I need to be level 24 for the next bit. So what I did right before recording was I went into the Hawaii Haunt.
Okay.
Which is a dungeon setup, very similar to, the Yakuza games before have had.
Is that the one over by the mall?
It is the one over by the mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there more? There's more. There's one, maybe one more that I don't know about yet.
I don't think so, but I can't remember now.
Okay. Well, so I did some of that, and actually I really like that this dungeon setup in this game compared to the previous game, because previous game was the same layouts or whatever. This game, it has a bit of a roguelike atmosphere to it in that the layouts are randomized each time. So that's kind of nice to go through that. And it seems like there's more of a point, at least the first time, and maybe second time too, you go into the Hawaii haunt, there's a reason to go there and do some things. And they also have this secondary goal where you can rescue people in the dungeons as well. So I think this is far and away better than the implementation in prior Yakuza games, because Man Who Erased His Name also had something like this. And I'm really enjoying that. So I enjoyed the Hawaii haunt, and since it told me I had to be level 24 before the next story beat, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and do some story things. And I funded the huge Roomba that is also like a battle thing that you come in contact with in Like a Dragon, and then in this game too. I think maybe even in Man Who Erased His Name. Is that in that one too? I don't remember.
I didn't think it was, but I might be misremembering.
But I funded that project and then started teaching the machine what is trash and what is not. And that was kind of fun. It's like, it's a machine, so you have to help it with the machine learning. And they have a mini game where you decide what is trash and what is not. And it's these moments in the Like a Dragon series. It's the mini game of identify trash and what's not. There's one that I just recently did where you had to dodge cars for a movie.
Right.
And then there's like a memory game where you are like a waiter at a restaurant and you have to remember people's orders and things like that. Like all of these little like pieces, right, that are super fun, and they shouldn't be, really.
Why shouldn't they be?
I don't know, but they have such a charm to them, right? Like there's such a charm to every inch of this game. And by the way, I have started using the Street Surfer.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Good.
And because it's sending me now, it's doing that thing that open world games do where it's like, go to this side of the map and then go to this side of the other side of the map. And then, all right, go all the way back. And for a while there, I was just running.
Right.
From one side of the map to the other. And then I was like, well, let me try this. Like, I've never really tried the Street Surfer.
A sucker.
Let me do this. Like, it's a mechanic in the game, and there's fast travel, so I could just go to a taxi.
Right.
Fast travel. And there's
also
also
what I always did.
There's also a streetcar too, which I don't even like. You can wait for the streetcar.
In the streetcar, eventually, you unlock there's a whole new mini game with the streetcar.
Ooh, okay. So maybe I have to do that.
Do you want a little spoiler?
Go ahead, spoil it.
This game has the Sujimon battles.
Yes.
Where you collect and battle your Sujimon. With the streetcar, it's essentially Sujimon Snap. So,
yes.
I highly recommend checking out the streetcars because that's a fun little mini game.
I'll have to do that then.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what this game has now become. Like, it's just me running around the city doing every little thing that I come across. Like, oh, I just passed an icon that wants me to take a picture of this thing in the store window. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Or, oh, there's a Sujimon trainer here. Maybe I should battle them. Okay, I'll do that. Like, and then it ends up you're just doing so many different things that I don't know. It's just such a wonderful series, and I'm having a great time. And bless them for making so many of these games. But yeah, I really do wonder, like, there's got to be a team that just works on the Sujimon stuff, right?
I
Like,
wouldn't be
and
surprised.
just works on the battle stuff. Like, yeah, it's just such a. Oh, and I got to Dondoko Island.
Oh, yes. Yes, you
I
did.
opened the island minigame, which, okay, since the early trailers for Infinite Wealth, I was like, yes, there's like an Animal Crossing like island management game in here. I am going to be all over this. And then I finally got to it. I'm like, yes, all right.
Mhm.
And then, well, I spent a little bit of time there, and I was like, oh, well, I really kind of want to get back to what I was doing, so I'll leave
really?
for now. Yeah, I could have spent a long ass time.
I will be honest. Once I got to Dondoko Island,
Yeah.
that became the game for like the next 20 hours. And
It could.
Yeah.
That could have been how I played it, but then I was like, well, I kind of want to get back to it.
And did that for pretty much until I did everything I got my island resort up to the highest rank.
Yeah. Do you get anything? Are the rewards good for that?
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm trying to even remember what you get for it. I think they were. I think it's worth it. I mean, but it is a genuinely fun little mode too.
It is genuinely fun. No, the thing that's great about these games is that every little mode feels like someone actually put the effort into this.
Yeah.
So many games are like, well, all these mini games, it's not as good because the team was divided, like not really spending enough time polishing or whatever.
Right.
Dondoko Island is like they spent a lot of time polishing this.
Oh yeah.
And the Sujimon stuff, the same kind of deal. Like they spent a lot of time polishing all of this stuff, and I think it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. I am playing in Japanese, Infinite Wealth, and the bits where actors speak English is it's a mixed bag. Really, let's just say it's a mixed bag.
I'm assuming you've encountered what's his name?
Yes, the
cult leader.
Cult leader. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't understand that choice. Why?
Everybody
else.
I don't know.
I don't understand it. But it's not like Sega doesn't have good Loke people or good voice actors under their umbrella. But yeah, loving the game. It's great.
Yes.
Play it because the series is awesome and weird. And Greg, you would love this. You would be all into it.
I would. I they're on my list. I just haven't gotten around to them. I don't know when I will, but
you definitely should.
I've been so there are a lot of things in the game that I didn't even really notice early on, like the whole saying hi to people.
Oh yeah,
thing. Now, anytime
give a little aloha to everyone as you walk by.
Yeah, anytime I see that icon over somebody's head, I like start mashing the square button. Like, I have to say hi to them right now. It's important.
It helps you out.
I don't know what it does.
You would you have the little app? You have the little like kind of Friendster app or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
does it give you any bonuses? Because I have over
I forget
50.
exactly what you get, but yeah, you do get as you become better friends with. Oh, you know what it was? If I remember correctly, as you say hi to people who have the little icon, you become better friends with them in the app, and the more people you become like best friends with in the app, when you go to the bar, the woman who works at the bar, she will. You know who I'm talking about?
The Revolve Bar?
Yes. There's the woman who works there. She's the one who like introduced you to the app.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I don't think I've interacted with her since I got the
really?
app.
You should
maybe.
Interact with her because
okay.
It's amusing because she very clearly has the hots for Kiryu and is constantly like trying to get you to hook her up with him. But also she will
okay.
The more people you befriend in the app, she will give you rewards.
Oh, okay. So I should go do that right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And Bill Mudrun in our chat is saying that you get
Oh, the same reward
Yeah.
as you did for completing the business minigame from the last Ichiban game. Okay.
Right.
For the friend thing or Dondoko?
That's for Dondoko.
Dondoko. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know that I remember what.
yeah, I don't even remember what that is either. I remember it being worthwhile though.
Yeah, I did it,
but I don't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I'm wondering, okay, so I unlocked the job system
Right.
in this, and then I made Ichiban the surf person, which I don't know if I should have done that or not. But then I unlocked like the fire eater thing or the fire pyromancer thing, which I gave to Tomizawa. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to need to look up a video like what's the best jobs for this game like I did for the last game.
Right.
But yeah, I'm having fun with that. I mean, the whole game is a trip and a half.
I'm pretty sure I kept Ichiban as the hero job.
Yeah.
And I think I kept Kiryu as the dragon of Dojima.
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head what I had everyone else as, but
okay.
Yeah, there are obviously plenty of guides out there.
Yeah.
That will tell you what the best jobs are.
I need to check it, but yeah, what a hugely fun game.
Yep.
Yeah, I shouldn't have slept on it.
Well,
you're right.
You know what? You're waking up.
Here's the thing, though. I think I went through the same thing with Like a Dragon. It's a slow starter for me because the amount of things that you do and the amount of like crazy stuff that goes on is slow to start. So,
yeah.
And a lot of long cutscenes.
That is true.
Long cutscenes.
That is definitely true.
But anyway, I'm loving it.
That's a great game.
It is a great game. All right. I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweedle-diddle-dee, tweedle-diddle-dee, tweet.
All right. Let's start with this one from Hacker Alias, the famous Paul. You know him?
Hey, we know that
him.
guy.
I know
Paul Mattingly from Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social.
The very same.
That's right. He says, I'm super excited for Switch 2, but I'm going to hold off for a collector's version like a Zelda theme or Mario. What kind of special design Switch 2 would you like to see? Also, with the possibility of guest characters in the new Mario Kart, who tops your wish list? Guest vehicles?
Ooh.
Let's go with the first.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's go with the first part of this question. Special edition Switch 2s or LE designs.
I'm always a sucker for a Pokemon system. Yeah. You know, I swore that I wasn't going to upgrade to an OLED Switch 1, but when they came out with the Pokemon one, I cracked.
Yeah.
So I would imagine, because obviously I'm going to get a Switch 2 right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the default one is. And I will not be surprised if they ever do a Pokemon one down the line, if that's when I crack and buy a new one.
Yeah.
But
I'm just not on board with that the way you guys are.
No?
No.
Not into cute systems?
No, it's not that. Like, if that stuff was available at the time I was going to buy the system, I would almost definitely get special editions. But yeah, double dipping on a system, I don't even double dip on games usually, but a system, no.
Fair enough.
Never. That being said, my answer for both questions is the same. It's Urban Champion.
Urban Champion.
So would the Urban Champion cart be the police car that goes by in that game?
I think we've just designed it.
There it is.
That's cool.
And I mean, the track would just be driving between the two manholes, and you drop in, drive the other way, and you get lifted back up and drive back out again.
So it's just like a little warp pipe.
Yeah, it would be like the baby speedway, but it would be vertical instead of horizontal.
Oh,
perfect.
Naturally,
make it happen, Nintendo. That was one of the big mistakes they made with the Switch. Is they waited way too long to get Urban Champion on that thing.
That's why that system wasn't a success.
Right. Gonna not make the mistakes of the past.
Yes.
Uh,
I bought a Splatoon 3 Switch OLED, and I would do it again if they do a Switch 2 that's Splatoon themed. I think I would buy it.
Splatoon 4.
Splatoon 4.
A hypothetical Splatoon 4.
Actually, I was thinking about this. Like, should they remake the original Splatoon at this point? Because nobody played that one, and the story mode was pretty good. They did introduce. You can get like the Splatoon 1 city in Splatoon 3, but it's like paid DLC. You can get a new skin for the city, basically.
Oh.
But yeah, I'd love it if they remade Splatoon 1 because I don't have that game anymore and I miss it.
Aw.
It's a good game. Although part of it was the Wii U was just excellent with that game because you had the stage map always available to you. You could always see it. But anyway, yeah. And then Mario Kart characters, I would want Hestu from Breath of the Wild, the poop little thing, the forest guy who shakes the maracas, and you give him the forest poops. You know the one I'm talking about.
I don't know if I do.
And he upgrades things.
But also I didn't,
Oh. I see.
I don't remember much of Breath of the Wild. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
What other characters? I fully support the idea of Mario Kart turning into Smash Kart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ganondorf as a racer would be fun.
I really, really, really hope that that's what they do with it, because they were clearly going that way with all the DLC for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Zelda, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
You know what would be fun to see in show up in Mario Kart, if we're talking about just random characters, is Professor Layton.
Wow, Professor Layton.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
not
while
even
there where it
Nintendo
felt like
game.
there was a new Professor Layton game like every month.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I know Professor Layton is not a Nintendo character,
Yeah.
but
You say Layton before Mega Man?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Because you know what?
Yeah.
I think the one is less likely. And I think that would
okay.
be fun to see.
I think it would be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a track.
Oh, absolutely.
Layton track where you had to count the matchsticks. And
You gotta drift into matchsticks to knock them off the track in order to change their pattern or something.
heck yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias HD Case, who says, "What are the crew's favorite Jeff Minter games? Mine is Polybius."
I mean,
Favorite
I
Jeff
got to
Minter
go with
games?
Tempest 2000.
I mean, Tempest 2000 is kind of
that's
the obvious
Tempest
answer.
2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I will say, I'm gonna throw a little support out there for Hover Bubber, which is his old
Lawnmower
Commodore
game.
64 lawnmower game. Yeah.
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 Which I actually played all the time back on my old Commodore 64 before I even knew who Jeff Minter was. It was just a random lawnmower game that I ended up getting a bootleg copy of and
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. I put a lot of time into Hover Bubber back in the day. And it was really nice to see it resurface in the Jeff Minter story? Is that what the collection was called? The Digital Eclipse?
Yes, I believe so.
It was called
Yeah.
the Jeff Minter story. I
think so.
But yeah, that's my kind of
Yeah.
nonconformist answer.
Tempest 2000, of course. TXK was really good, but that's
I
just
feel
Tempest
like-
2000.
I feel like that's a nonconformist answer for North Americans. Because I mean,
Yeah,
if you grew up in the bedroom quarter era in the UK,
For sure.
I'm sure a lot of people would pick something besides Tempest 2000.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Very likely.
Yes.
All right, let's wrap up with this one from Hacker Alias Cub Life, who says, do you think Konami will do more remakes of their classic lineup? What games would you like to see remade for modern times?
I just want them to do a Goemon collection. You know,
I'm surprised they haven't done that,
we've
actually.
gotten the Contra collection. We've gotten multiple Castlevania collections.
Yeah.
You know, I want a Gradius collection.
I want Parodius.
I mean, do a
collection.
Gradius / Parodius collection.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That's what you actually should do.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, a Goemon collection with English translations of like the SNES games that never came out here, the Super Famicom games that were never localized.
Yeah. What do you think the likelihood of that happening is?
0?
Probably close
Somewhere
to 0.
between 0 and 0.
Although they're doing that Tokimeki Memorial
I saw
remake
that, but
in Japan, and
that ain't
it's
coming
like
out here, right?
You have the opportunity to bring that out in English, and there's actually since
People would play it.
People would
sell
play
over
that.
Here.
Visual novels and
I think it would.
dating sims nowadays are a popular genre. People
absolutely
pay money for that.
I think so too.
And you know what? It would be nice to see a dating sim on modern systems that wasn't like that kind of shovelware, like AI trash.
Exactly.
That digital shops are so inundated with.
Yeah,
that's
not
also
to say
true.
Obviously, not all the dating sims are of that ilk, but there's a lot of them. So to see the kind of, I mean, is it fair to say that Tokimeki Memorial is the game that kind of kickstarted that genre? Is that fair?
I would think that's fair.
I don't know enough about that genre.
I mean, I don't.
That's the first one I
either.
remember being aware of.
That's same thing with me.
Same. But I mean, there's a 6-hour Tim Rogers video about Tokimeki Memorial.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So there is a potential market for it. Konami.
Yeah, and I do think it would sell for sure.
I definitely think it would sell.
So the Suikoden remake is coming out. Remakes are coming out soon.
Yeah.
And further to that, I would love to see them do something similar with the Vandal Hearts games. Vandal Hearts, for anyone who doesn't remember, were strategy RPGs by Konami. The first one was like a pre-Final Fantasy VII release. I think Vandal Hearts 2 came out after Final Fantasy VII did. Yeah. But they were really good. And I would love to have an excuse to play an updated version of that. And as far as Konami, the other thing is way, way, way past time for them to get a Snatcher / Police Knots remake out. It's ridiculous that hasn't happened yet.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Also a remake of Track and Field 2. Make it happen.
Where's my modern day Bayou Billy?
I loved Bayou Billy. Go back and play it now, and I hate it, but I loved it back in the day.
I wanted to get into Bayou Billy back in the day, but I could not.
Yes.
No, I would play just about anything that had Konami's name on it back then.
Oh, well, yeah.
And
Me too.
Give it the benefit of the doubt no matter what.
Me too.
Where's Goonies 3?
Oh,
let's get a remake of Rocket Knight Adventures.
They did that.
Was that a remake though?
No, they did a new new game.
No, I don't want a new one because it was terrible. I want a remake of the original.
And well, we also recently got a collection.
Yeah, we
got the Rocket Knight collection.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally.
Yeah, it's got
on that.
It's got the first game, and it's got the 2 versions of Sparkster on there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Wow.
Such derision.
Why you got to be like that?
I didn't think Sparkster was a very good game.
Oh my goodness.
I never played it.
CJ didn't even play it.
Which Sparkster did you not like, Greg?
Oh, I tried both of them.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't think they didn't stand up to Rocket Knight Adventure. The first Rocket Knight Adventures game was, wow.
Yeah.
It was so good. So it just the sequels on either system didn't hold up.
Yeah. Well, I think we should do a Star Trek minute here before the end so that I can update you, Phil, on what we're doing, our trek through Trek,
Yes.
as it were.
Real quick, Greg. Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked is the name of the collection.
That came out like last year, or it's fairly recent.
Shows you how closely I paid attention.
It is a fairly recent release, yes.
Yeah.
June
Wow.
11th, 2024. If you want to put an exact date on it.
Less than a year.
I believe it's fewer than a year's. If you want to get technical.
Now, can we talk about Star Trek?
Fine, you friggin' nerd.
Because my daughter's going to text me and say, "Why aren't you talking about Star Trek?"
Oh boy, okay.
Made her wait through the whole podcast.
Beam me up. What do you got?
We've been going back and forth between the original series.
Oh,
and
really?
Next Gen. Yeah,
you're watching TOS.
We're watching TOS. Yeah, I brought up a list of like the most essential original series episodes, and we're kind of working through that. In addition,
what
to
have you watched
Next Gen
of that one?
Oh man, you're gonna make me.
Well, I don't need like.
Remember,
names.
you only have a minute.
Just give me plots and not. Did you watch the one with Clint Howard, with baby Clint Howard?
I don't think so.
Oh,
wait, which one's baby Clint Howard in?
Gosh, what's the name of the episode? Let me see here.
We watched the one with Khan, his first appearance.
Oh, Space Seed.
Space Seed. Yeah,
I've even seen that one.
I don't think I had seen it before. Actually,
that's
I
good.
I made a point of going and seeing it after seeing the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, now you're set up to watch Wrath of Khan.
Yeah,
finally.
We watched.
Oh yeah, the Corbinite maneuver. That's the one. That's the one with baby Clint Howard.
Okay, we didn't watch that one yet.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay, we watched Mirror Mirror, where they get transported into an alternate dimension. Of course. Yeah, we watched the Tribble episode. We watched
Bill on the delay, just yelling Corbinite maneuver. I looked it up like a second before you said it, Bill.
The one with the Romulans and the neutral zone, that's called Balance of Terror. We just watched that.
Okay.
I just Carbonite Maneuver is the next episode we should be watching.
Oh, good. Now here's the thing. Once you watch Carbonite Maneuver, an old Mr. Show sketch is going to start making sense.
Oh no.
Because there was an old Mr. Show sketch that is very much a parody of that episode.
That's funny.
Because it's baby Clint Howard, and he's all decked out in like space costume.
I can't wait.
And his voice is dubbed over by like an adult man. And it's all like,
God.
Oh my God, I remember this episode.
Enjoy my sweet meats and sup. Have some fine drink with me. And it's very much just that kind of nonsense.
Is that the one where he has like the really dramatic laugh?
Yes.
Yeah, I vividly remember that.
I already can't wait. This is gonna be great.
Have you Squire of Gothos?
Nope.
Okay, that's one to put on there.
Okay.
But City at the Edge of Forever.
I think we did watch that, or Charlotte may have watched that by herself. She started watching TOS episodes without me. It's not allowed. Not allowed.
City at the Edge of Forever is the best TOS episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it's the one where Bones.
Yeah, she watched this one. I didn't
get sent into the past. Yeah. And Spock and Kirk go after him.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't watch that one with her?
I didn't watch it. No, she watched it by herself.
Okay, first of all, I hope you punished her.
Not allowed.
You got to go back and watch that one, because that one is, like I said, genuinely the best of the old episodes.
Okay. And then on TNG, we're kind of working through somebody's list of like what they thought is the essential episodes. And so we just finished up like the one where Picard turns into a Borg and then is now like rehabbing himself, and he goes to visit his brother, and then so we're like skipping around.
Okay.
depending on what the episode synopsis is, but also following like somebody's unofficial list of essential episodes. So
Right.
yeah, we've hit a bunch that are really good, and a clip show with Riker that was really stupid.
Oh,
But yeah, I had forgotten clip shows.
I know, right?
That's not a thing in modern TV.
There are definitely a lot of things that I miss about the old style of television, but clip shows is absolutely not one of them.
Yeah. But anyway, having a lot of fun. We're going to watch Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan very soon, I'm sure.
Good.
And
Now,
I remember loving that movie.
Now, keep in mind, it's an outstanding movie.
Yeah.
Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 form a trilogy.
Wait,
Yeah,
are you saying, have you really not seen Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan?
What? I've seen it.
Did you just the way you just said
we
that
haven't
made it sound like
watched
you
it
hadn't.
yet. We haven't watched
No,
it yet.
but you've seen it before.
I have
Okay.
seen it, yes.
All right. That's okay.
That was one of the first movies I saw in the theater.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're going to skip Star Trek: The Motion Picture because I remember that being hugely boring when I watched it.
It is hugely boring.
It's a slow watch. Yeah.
Yeah. They could have cut 30 to 40 minutes out of that movie and not lost a thing. It still wouldn't be a great movie, but it wouldn't be any better or worse.
That movie was very much we made a really nice model of the Enterprise.
Look at this model.
Yeah. Let's spend 2 hours looking at this model of our ship that we made.
A really nice model and lit it really beautifully.
We're very proud of our model.
Yes.
All right.
But
Anyway,
2, 3, and 4, you got to watch all of them.
we will.
People poo-poo number 3. And you know what?
Yeah.
3
That's Search for Spock, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
3 is not a bad movie.
I
3 is
remember
worth
liking
watching
it.
once just to make the second and fourth movie.
3
Put it all in
is
context.
disappointing because it's sandwiched between 2 of the best Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
But it is by no means bad.
Okay.
So
We'll watch it.
good.
Anyway, that's the Star Trek minute for this week.
That was way more than a minute. That was the Star Trek eternity for this episode.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
We had to do it though.
You know what? I'm just saying what all the listeners are thinking.
Disappointing.
I think they're probably thinking that too, but
Next, we should talk about Cheers because I'm rewatching Cheers. I'm in
Oh my
season
goodness.
6 of Cheers,
oh my God.
and I'm glad I'm done with Diane. Like, I think
Wow.
onto the Rebecca episodes, and she's much better. Just Diane as a character, so one note. Okay, 2 note.
Yeah, because nobody else in that series was one note. So
No, exactly. Nobody.
Ugh.
Cliff. Yeah.
My goodness.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's our show. So
Well,
I'll wrap up.
if you love Kirstie Alley so much,
Are you saying we should do a Look Who's Talking minute?
no, I'm saying please look forward to watching Wrath of Khan.
yeah,
Right, because she's in it. Yeah.
She's in that.
until they recast her.
Right. She is not in. She's not in 3.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on your favorite Star Trek episode, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on any social media network you like, but definitely Threads and Blue Sky. Or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our show notes and links to all the things that we talked about. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll find Generation 16 episodes there as well, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners. Wow, I did that in reverse order almost.
The best Star Trek episode, by the way, is In the Pale Moonlight from Deep Space Nine.
Is it really? Actually, I'm quite excited to start Deep Space Nine because
Deep Space Nine is so good.
you have hyped it up as being your favorite Star Trek series.
It is.
Since
It is,
it's
absolutely.
an old style 90s television show, there's a lot of it
Yes, there is.
by comparison
And
to new
it's-
television.
It doesn't start out bad, but it doesn't become great right away.
Right.
I found
Okay.
it was good,
Yes.
but then it just kind of they figured out a formula and they
Yes.
figured out the characters and it just became great.
Yes.
Which happens with so many shows, just
Yeah.
in
I mean,
general, too.
That's just the way TV works.
Yeah.
But it just really happened particularly with I mean, it's I know like Next Generation went the same way because boy, the first couple episodes, first season of Next Gen is hard to watch, I find. But but it got better, but it just sort of evolved into something better where I felt like there was a like to watch the beginning, the first episodes of Deep Space Nine and the final series of Deep Space Nine, like the gulf is so huge.
Yes.
Ah,
And I don't know if I've said this before, CJ.
yeah.
But you and your kid, once you exhaust Star Trek,
Yeah.
watch the Orville.
I thought you were going to say Babylon 5.
I actually want to watch the Orville. Yeah.
The Orville is surprisingly good, and
I've heard that.
it actually gets surprisingly great.
Okay.
So,
I'm excited about that too.
It is 100% Star Trek TNG fan fiction.
Okay. Cool.
It
I'm into
feels
it.
like TNG. Yeah. But
I'm also watching Detroiters. Have you seen Detroiters? Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson.
I have not.
Funny show. Anyway,
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks. Typically, we record at 5:30 p.m. specific time on Sundays, but follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ has a lot of tiny little Star Trek models that he needs to buy for his kid now.
No.
She's hooked.
No.
You got a whole mess of Eagle Moss models
No.
that you got to track down now on the secondary market, and they ain't cheap. So CJ needs your financial support.
I did get her a Star Trek visual encyclopedia for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It was from 2013. Oh, I was like, oh no, this isn't updated.
that's out of date.
No, but it's got a lot of stuff that we're working through anyway. So
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Bet it doesn't have the Cerritos in there.
Nope.
And CJ's gone. He left. He's so
he's
ashamed.
done.
And now he's back.
I had to sneeze.
Oh,
That's what I mean. We won't be offended if you sneeze. It's okay.
yeah, we've seen you sneeze before.
Yeah.
It's okay. I guess he has another sneeze. One of those twofers.
What CJ's
course
not
we
telling
use-
our listeners is that he has to take his shirt off every time he sneezes. Tears it off like Hulk Hogan, but without like a MAGA shirt underneath.
No. No.
We, of
Hulk
course, use your
Hogan.
Patreon funds to keep the show streaming and all that nonsense. And I'll tell you what else. So if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $3 variety,
Also cheap.
we totally didn't do the cheap line for the Player One podcast page.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Back it up. Do it again. Just say cheap, Greg. We'll splice it in
Cheap.
later. There it is. Perfect.
You get early access to all the videos on my YouTube channel. And hey, if you
Yeah.
got some time, you should go watch my Sega Saturn video that's been live now for a week.
Oh, my goodness. Wonderful. Yeah, I didn't plug our Patreon, did I?
No,
Well, you did.
I plugged the
you
Patreon.
plugged it, but we
but
didn't
then
get
not-
to.
I didn't say
I
what
never gave you my cue.
what you get. You're right.
Yeah.
I was sick last week. Okay. I'm all discombobulated. If you do the $5 thing, and this is where we'll splice in Greg saying cheap from a
Cheap.
minute ago.
We won't though.
Sure,
I'm
will.
not going to do that.
That's
Yeah,
never
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. The editors will take care of it.
I'm not doing that.
You get the special bonus episode that we record right after this. What is it? Play games, cracking wise, having fun doing all the stuff that we can't do on the regular show. Oh yeah, this, and then I have to ask CJ.
Yeah.
Do we have a game?
Phil,
Yeah.
I know you were sick last week.
Oh, I'm sick of just everything, man.
I have some terrible news.
Oh no.
We do.
My
have a
dad didn't
game.
die again, did he?
No. God. Wow.
Jesus.
Oh,
Phil.
gallows humor, folks. Let me have this.
We do have a game.
Oh, we do have a game. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good. What
do.
kind of game is this?
It's it's genre film.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Jean-Luc. I thought we were continuing our Star Trek.
Jean-Luc Pickard.
No, but somebody should totally now send us a Star
Well, we did. We had a Deep
did.
Space Nine quiz a while ago.
I didn't know anything on it though, and now
I still don't.
I still won't know anything. On it.
Oh my goodness. So
But,
what is this?
Yes,
It's a-
genre films.
oh, it's another genre film.
Marky Mark. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
These are fun.
they are.
And I don't wanna get
these
too-
are fun.
I don't want to get too pompous about it, but we usually do pretty well on these.
We have. Let's see if we can continue our streak.
We'll see what happens. Please join us for that, my good folks. And we already heard Greg talking about his
We already
thing.
did that part. Yep.
Yep, so that's great. He's got the Saturn video up. The Joe Montana, not the John Madden, the Joe Montana video is getting close, right?
I wouldn't say close.
Okay.
It's getting.
I just saw you posted with
Yeah.
the
So the picture that I posted,
yeah.
I originally took a different version of that picture,
Oh.
which was the entire timeline. But then it was
But then
too
you
depressing to
realized
see
you
how
had a
much
whole
of
bunch
it
of
hasn't been
scandalous
done.
tabs open.
Yeah, that's it. It was too depressing to see how much hadn't been done.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well,
I mean, it's getting there, but it's
getting there.
It's still a ways away.
okay. Well, I look forward to the time when Montana is back to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it then?
I think that's it.
CJ.
Yeah, huh?
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Phil.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darn one of you. As always, please take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.